design went up for letting users write their own code and running it right inside a web app. Then, the lead engineer at the company that actually built that sandbox replied and said it was never meant to stop code that means you harm. It started with apps built for a single person. The pitch is that web apps should take code their users wrote and let them fill in whatever the product left out. But the replies were not about how to build it. The post is by Jeremy Morrell. He works at Cloudflare, and he put this one on his personal blog rather than the company one. He opens with an observation. Reshaping software has gotten dramatically easier. A model can now produce an app that fits exactly one person's workflow. The problem is where that kind of extension is allowed to happen. Programs that accept extensions are things like developer tools and game mods, mostly installed on your own machine, and most of them expect real skill to operate. The web has no place for it. So he lays out 5 things a runtime has to provide before a web app can take somebody else's code and run it. Here are the 5. It should cost almost nothing while idle. Startup should be measured in milliseconds. Processing time and memory should have hard ceilings. One user's crash or breach should stay away from every other user. And the code should reach outside only as far as you allowed. That last one is the heart of the post. You never hand over permission wholesale. Instead of giving out an API key or network access itself, you hand over a single function that fetches one approved email. The code you received can only work through the functions you handed it. Then he compares 4 ways to run it. An interpreter is easy to bolt on, but slow. V8 isolates are the engine Chrome runs on, so isolation and speed are both strong. Micro VMs let you use Linux as is, but they are heavy. WebAssembly starts with no permissions, and the host opens only what is needed, though the tooling is still thin. None of this is new. Salesforce has been running code other people uploaded on its own servers since 2007. The very first reply was that it reads like an ad. DeepPulse deep dive. The author works at Cloudflare, and the conclusion is a Cloudflare product. The author answered directly. He said, it is closer to an ad for sandboxing and for handing over narrow permissions. And it came out that way because right now, essentially one product actually implements that pattern. Then, the lead engineer on that product came down and laid out the structure. Code a user submits only runs inside an iframe with its origin stripped, and it talks to the outside only through the parent window. That window, in turn, connects to nothing but a server dedicated to that app. But he said, the standard browsers used to block traffic has a gap in it. Video calling has a channel the standard simply does not cover, so there is no way to block it. Which means code determined to leak your data will get through. What this isolation actually stops, he wrote, is an AI doing something stupid. There was pushback too. Only a small group ever modifies their own software, so the market is not going to crack wide open. A counterexample landed as well. Somebody's 87-year-old grandfather builds his own language practice apps through a chat window. On the receiving end though, one developer said code that arrives finished and untouchable takes a week of billable hours just to figure out where to start. Extensibility was users filling in the features the builders never shipped. But the isolation around it is not there to hold back the user. It is there to hold back the AI. That was today's Deep Pulse. See you next Pulse.